Neon Genesis Evangelion is one of those franchises which has evolved beyond just a franchise. It's become a lifestyle, a brand, a long-running argument between the color red and blue, though purple is objectively correct. It's a landmark in Japanese animation that has sparked more than a few imaginations and role-playing games from its first episode in 1995 and ending movie in 1997, including the subsequent sequel, remakes, and of course the spin-offs. Lord almighty, the spin-offs. But as quick explanation of the franchise so we're all on the same page here, we found God in 2000, initiated Second Impact, a global super cataclysm which decimated most of the world and half of humanity. In the ensuing chaos, an organization known as NERV was established to protect humanity from the threat that was approaching, the Angels, which want nothing more than to dab on humanity and finish the fucking job. Now in 2015, Shinji Ikari, Asuka Langley Soryu, and Rei Ayanami are the pilots of the Evangelions, gigantic bipedal mechs that are capable of confronting these angelic monsters, all while dealing with the mysterious happenings behind the scenes. In actuality, the show and the franchise are about people, their problems, and what they'll do to atone, rectify, or worsen them. However, in 1996, the NERV White Paper was released, a Japanese role-playing game by Mitsuhiro Nakazawa, released by Kadokawa Shoten. The White Paper can best be described as half series Bible and half Japanese role-playing game, because as anyone who plays quite a few JRPGs can note, a Japanese role-playing game fits a particular description as you play the role of a character. And in the White Paper, you'll be taking the role of Shinji, Rei, Asuka, Misato, and Ritsuko as you Goober Squad attempts to fight an angel. The actual system itself is 2d6, but it's all actually based around scoring evens or odds. The players will slowly amass resources, stress, and advantages as they progress through a month of play. Each day, they'll schedule themselves out where they're going and doing, with every day building towards an inevitable angel attack. Each day an event card will be drawn, forcing the players to go to certain locations or make choices that will spike their stress. But when a fight breaks out, the pilots will suit up and confront the angel. Battle is fairly abstract, relying mostly on either stabbing or shooting. Melee fights hit/dodge checks, while range forces the pilots to spend turns aiming, depending on their current harmonics rating, of course. If they hit, they'll draw cards from a pile of 9, dealing damage based on those cards. Melee draws 1, while range will draw 3 of them. Most of these cards are a few points of damage, but the powerful insta-kill card is always in there to end the fight early, suggesting you don't panic. Misato and Ritsuko will be holding down the fort, their turn being what happens at NERV HQ and the Avas themselves. If HQ's HP reaches 0, the world's fucking doomed. So both have both of them don't really have much to do outside roll and pray. They just kind of sit there and roll on their respective charts. With a few scenarios in the back, the White Pages is a strange product looking to capitalize off the success of a series more than doing anything greater than it. A choice to follow trends in role-playing games without doing anything too extreme. An oddity of a product with some unique, if alien, ideas. However, in 1996 as well, the Ava MAGIUS role-playing game was released, a Japanese role-playing game by Orange Jelly and the Deep Sea Workshop, released by Fujimi Shobo. Orange Jelly was a writer at the time of the TRPG scenarios, now finding their true calling in a long-running Toho professional wrestling for Coma. This isn't relevant to the conversation at all, I just want more people to know that that exists. As for the game itself, it was created using the MAGIUS engine, or the Multiple Assignable Game Interface for Universal Systems, a system designed in 1995 for the Fujimi product line. It's pretty much GURPS Lite Japan edition. The core never really went any there, but the 2d6 plus mod system led to almost 30 variants, from Magical School Lunar, Saber Marionettes, Slayers, Tenchi Muyo, and of course, Neon Genesis Evangelion. I would kill for the core rulebook of MAGIUS, even if it's just an untranslated PDF. Similar to the White Paper though, MAGIUS has you take the role of the characters from the show. However, you'll be split between NERV mode and Ava mode. In NERV mode, Ritsuko, Kozu, Misato, and Maya are all playable, while pilot phase will only have Shinji, Rei, and Asuka. You won't actually choose which pilot you'll play initially, instead forcing the NERV agents to go into a character contest for the pilots when the angel appears. One of the most important facets of the game though is action points. Every action you do is taking action points. In NERV mode, moving to new locations, performing some actions, actions to increase your chances of success, and even talking to the pilots to boost your affinity with them while making them go insane, all take action points. But this is an opportunity cost game. You don't know when the angel is going to arrive. It could be late, it could be next turn, it could be right now. But you must build up nerve, you must repair the Evas, you must build weapons, and you must ready them, all while making sure you don't die. There's this hectic beat to everything in nerve mode, the looming dread of maybe as the characters, each with their fairly rigid stats, may outright fail certain actions, suggesting they take any, especially if they are sick at home with 1 AP, needing to rest to recover some, moving to nerve, and finally ending off getting to witness an Angelru appear from the sky. The game can be fairly brutal in its beat sometimes, but what happens when an angel does appear? Each of the players will choose a pilot and become them, abandoning their previous nerve agent for their own ends. One player may be mission control though, operating nerve HQ and assisting the pilots on the ground, but as that nightmare lands, all of those building actions come to fruition. What can it do? How far away is it? How much time do we have? Can we delay it with manpower? Because you need to buy as much time as possible before it gets to nerve, whether that's quickly deploying an Eva to die heroically on the field, or throwing a couple hundred men to their death, or maybe even detonating an N2 mine. Every second counts, and you're on the fucking clock. Speaking about dying heroically, the pilots get ready to throw hands depending on their mental state having more or far less action points for the hex map combat system. During their turn, the pilots can use all of their available action points to move, punch, kick, stab, shoot, and everything else to defeat the angel. When fighting, the best course of action is to subdue and make sure your friends can set up big hits against the angel. But angels can act a lot and are more than capable than murking any wayward pilots or anyone else for that matter. Overall, the MAGIUS game is one of those fascinating things in history. A game that exists in a certain place and time. One of the more complicated bits to talk about is that it doesn't really actually explain how to play very well, as it does have a big assumption that you already own the MAGIUS start book in addition to everything else. It also doesn't help that some of the rolls are absolutely hellish. Trying to hit a 20 on a 2d6 with a +9 is far more complicated than anyone would like to admit. However, there are 2 additional books. Book 2 is literally the Shinji Ikari Raising Project RPG as a solo mode of the entire game, while Book 3 combines all the aspects of Book 2 and 1 together in addition to a few new scenarios, as well as more data for numberless angels and the canon angels. Both of these games come from a particular time, place, and situation, a zeitgeist of the Evangelion boom, the moments before Eva became the international smash success that it is today. Perhaps one day the money pit of Eva will produce another one of these RPGs to beat all the others, but until then, this is really it for official games. And this was MAGIUS Neon Genesis Evangelion and the NERV White Papers. If you like what I do here, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And many thanks to the shadowy organizations who fund the role-playing instrumentality project to create Rifts 2. Now, of course, there is another game series to talk about, of course, which we will do on Friday. Regardless, happy birthday, Shinji!